126 has confirmed that C4 is coming, but what does that mean for us, players that haven't even reached C3? C4 as well is going to be so grindy. The one thing everyone dislikes about Blox Fruits is the grinding system, but there's something that they're going to be releasing with the C4 update, which I know about, and at 400 likes, I will actually reveal it, as well as show some leaks in a live stream, so make sure you're subscribed for that. But with C4 coming out, there's actually a bunch of things getting revamped in the game. First of all, when C4 comes out, the entire game is literally going to get an entire rework. Of course, this entire few years, we've been getting a bunch of fruit reworks, we've been getting map reworks. That's all cool, but don't you think it's time for the entire game to get reworked? Here's what I mean. When C4 comes out, which is going to be confirmed, by the way, it is confirmed this year to come out, C1, as well as C2, as well as C3 will get a little bit of a revamp. It'll become more detailed and just better and just more up to date before C4 comes out. And when C4 comes out, it's going to be completely different from any of the Cs in the game, because this year is the year that every fruit that Blox Fruits wants to rework is going to be reworked and done. And after this, there won't be any more fruits to rework at all. The Oni and Celestial fruit are also going to come out, very likely with the C4 update. But also, how is C4 going to be any different than any other C that we have in the game? Now, at the moment, Blox Fruits has, let's be honest, been kind of dry. The grinding aspect of the game is kind of boring. The PvP aspect of the game does get a bit repetitive. So not only are they going to improve the grinding aspect of Blox Fruits and completely redoing it, but they're also going to be redoing PvPs and finally giving us the cruise rework that we've been wanting for a very long time with the C4 update. And the reason for this is because of games like The Forge. So many games have been coming out lately, and by the way, high quality games. The Forge is a very good game. It's very up to date with Roblox's current standards, and The Forge honestly is what Blox Fruits is going to take a bunch of their inspiration from, because they have a very good system for almost everything. Soon The Forge will release PvP systems, and that is going to be very OP. Another thing is that NPCs in Blox Fruits kind of suck and they're so boring to fight, whereas in The Forge they're actually kind of fun to fight, they're animated, and they're very nice to do. And Blox Fruits is going to improve all of this. The Forge is very high quality and honestly has been a very good Roblox game. It's actually combined with Roblox Fish and Blox Fruits. Basically, The Forge is Blox Fruits and the Fish combined with a couple other games into it, and Blox Fruits taking inspiration from The Forge would actually be very beneficial for them, because The Forge is quite literally half of Blox Fruits or a quarter of Blox Fruits. The Forge is very grindy and so is Blox Fruits. And the grinding aspect of The Forge is pretty fun, honestly. So what Blox Fruits is going to do is not only release C4, but make sure that the game is up to date. Everything in the game that's super outdated today gets updated, such as all of the Cs, the NPCs being kind of boring, a lot of the quests being kind of boring, and everything in the game in general getting completely reworked and revamped. Fruits will be completely reworked this year, so it'll be time to rework other parts of the map that badly need to be reworked, and a bunch of systems that finally need to be reworked. One of them definitely being the grinding system being insanely boring, as well as the PvP system, because the high level players say that PvP in Blox Fruits is very boring. Not only that, but the leveling system has a very high chance to be, one, of course, the level cap being increased, but two, also being reworked with potentially level rewards being gifted to you, which would be insane. But the one thing a lot of people have been asking for before C4 even comes out, because that's going to be a separate and big update of itself, is admin abuse. So many games have been releasing admin abuses in their game. Bee Swarm Simulator, this is a very old game. Like, this is literally almost a 9-year-old game, and it's been dead for so long. And because of admin abuse, it literally came back to life very recently. Bee Swarm Simulator released all the way back in 2017 and was dead after 2020 for such a long time. And because they brought admin abuse into their game, they surged up to 200,000 concurrent players. This is insane. Fish, which is another game that died out completely in 2025, was brought back to life all the way up to 1 million concurrent players because of admin abuse. I mean, I can just go on about how many games have been doing admin abuses and have seen success. I mean, heck, even Adopt Me died a long time ago, but as soon as they brought admin abuse to Adopt Me, they surged back up to 1 million players. And Adopt Me is still here as of today, even though that game is also 9 years old. I can give you a lot more games that are doing very good with admin abuse. But before I tell you, I want to let you know that Hex Gaming sent the ultimate controller with 4 remappable back buttons, premium grip, Hall Effect joystick, and 8 changeable thumbsticks, and clicky here trigger. These have some of the most high quality material I've ever seen on a controller, especially the buttons, because these are the easiest joysticks to use. And honestly speaking, I've been using this a lot more than my keyboard lately, just because of how good the grip is. I've actually been playing with these way more than actually using my keyboard to play Roblox, and it's a game changer. You can use my promo code NEEDZO down below in the description to get yourself one for 5% off, and I genuinely recommend it. So click the link in the description and get yourself one today, because you will need these for a future Roblox event that I'm actually hosting as well. More info very soon. And so what am I proposing? Bloxroot's admin abuse. This is something that I've been pushing for, especially behind the scenes. Admin abuse is something that would destroy the player count for Bloxroot. They would literally surge more than 1 million players for Bloxroot, because admin abuse would be humongous in Bloxroot. They could do anything they want. Double XP, double money, dropping fruits from the sky, which they have literally done this event a long time ago. Bloxroot has so much potential, and they have literally so many admins. Uzot is one of them, and Uzot would probably definitely do admin abuse for the developers. Even Xiolis would do admin abuse for the developers. I mean, these two admins alone are enough to do admin abuse for the entire game. They don't even need Rip Indra or MyGamer43 or any of the other developers to even do admin abuse. Admins alone would do it even for content or streams. So why not let these two host admin abuse in the game? Especially before C4, because the Bloxroot developers are going to be very busy making the C4 update, hosting it, hyping it up, obviously working on it, which is going to take a very long time. So before then, hyping up the update with admin abuse would be insane. And not only that, Bloxroot has recently seen a very high surge of player count. Bloxroot is officially back, but who knows how long this is going to last, because if they want to keep this player count, admin abuse is one thing that would definitely maintain that. But also, when I asked Uzot a bunch of information about C4, I was given so much information and leaks about C4, and it's actually wild. C4 update. So, do you have any news on that?
On the C4 update, I think it's definitely a work in progress. The main thing that's holding us back is the fact that we want to make sure when we implement the C4, we're not adding just the C map reworks, but we're also adding new gameplay mechanics that makes leveling, because that's a core principle of the game, just the leveling and the grind of the game. We want to make sure it's really nice for new players that come into Bloxroot to learn about the game. They have a really good time leveling and make it to the late game content where the third C is, where all the main player base is at. Right now, the struggle is that the first C, we're trying to come up with lore, new island reworks, how they should look, new gameplay mechanics. I'd like to make leveling more fun. So that's just part of what the deal is with C4. In terms of when that might be coming out, it's a little secret, but it's coming along very nicely.
C4 has been in the works since last year. This is a very long project, and it has actually been in the works for several years now. Not only do we know this, but now we know that C4 is basically almost finished, because when Uzot told me this was in 2025 of July. That's a long time ago. So that means that almost a quarter of the year has passed, and we should be seeing C4 drop during 2026 of summer or 2026 of winter. My best guess is that 2026 summer makes a bunch of sense, because they've been very consistent around that time, and that's when they usually start even doing weekly updates. That's when they usually drop the biggest updates. 2025 had a bunch of good updates and a bunch of big updates and a bunch of good updates, especially weekly updates, which will definitely return, and we will definitely see that happen in 2026, and C4 could definitely be coming out in 2026 of summer. And honestly, it should be. I think it's about time that all the old players return to Bloxroot. Now, obviously, delays happen all the time, and C4 could possibly get delayed due to a bunch of bugs and maybe needing more time. And if that happens, then honestly, this year for Bloxroot could be honestly super